Hey friend, I'm Brandon Gustafson. I help beginners like you launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months. In today's video, we're going to be getting into what is Medicaid billing and coding. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stick around for today's video. Hey friend, before we get into the topic for today, I want to remind you to get over to the website, assistedlivinginvesting.net/calculator, to get our free underwriting calculator. We'll have links down below. It's a great tool that I created though to help you understand if you've got a good investment or not. So check that out. Now let's get into the video for today. We're going to be talking about what is Medicaid billing and coding. Now we've talked a lot about Medicaid on this channel because not a lot of people do. A lot of people are kind of scared of it and don't understand what it is. So I'm going to link up a video above about what Medicaid is, how it works, and how you can leverage that as you get started on your investment journey. So go check that video out, and I probably have another one, so we'll try to link up a second one there for you as well, so you can get access to some of these really good videos on Medicaid. So we're going to start off with talking about coding. First off, what you need to understand about coding is there's an approved Medicaid assisted living code. So at its core, there's just one code, honestly, for Medicaid that you need to be aware of. It is kind of all-inclusive for the services that you provide as a assisted living provider. And that code is going to differ from state to state, but the state is going to tell you what the reimbursement rate is for that code as well. So as you get into understanding this, just understand that coding in healthcare is their billing codes, and they typically will have a combination of letters and numbers. They're 4 to 6 characters inside of a code, and then you bill that code. That's kind of what it looks like when you get into coding. So that's a quick and dirty view of what coding is. And typically in assisted living, there's really just one code that you need to worry about, like I mentioned. Now, let's get into billing. Billing is a little bit deeper there and understanding what billing is. So billing is taking the code that is approved and you submit that to Medicaid. And this could be a third-party administrator that does Medicaid, or it could be Medicaid themselves. Each state kind of handles Medicaid differently. In Colorado, for example, it's run by the state, but Gainwell is who kind of administers it, but it's done at the state level. In Idaho, where I also have another facility, there's 3 payers. There's Idaho, the state itself, there's Molina Healthcare, and there's Blue Cross of Idaho. And so we are certified with all 3 of those providers. And so we accept residents regardless of what type of Medicaid they have. And then we have to bill 3 different types of Medicaid when we want to get reimbursed. So it's kind of how that works. When you do the billing, and my dad does a lot of this. And so if you would be interested in learning kind of about the billing process or things like that, comment billing down below, because I could get him on a call and kind of show you a little bit of exactly how that works and what it looks like, and he can kind of give you some experience from that standpoint. So again, comment billing if that would be interesting to you, so that and can bring him on the channel if you're interested. When it comes to billing though, it really is as simple as you have the one code, you bill that to Medicaid or the third-party administrator. You bill the amount that it tells you to bill. You bill how many units it has, and then you submit it. And so for assisted living, you have one code per person, and it's just the 1 unit per day. It's that simple. That's all you have to do. Once you get kind of familiar with the process of billing Medicaid, it becomes very simple, very easy to do. It doesn't take a lot of time. That's another thing that people I think probably are a little bit scared of, don't know what to expect with it. There's a bit of a learning curve, especially if you're using multiple providers like we have to deal with. But at its core, it's not that hard. Once you figure out the process, it's actually pretty easy to kind of maintain and move things forward and make sure you're not missing anything there. So that's something that you kind of want to keep in mind as you get into this, that the billing piece of it is not that complex. It's not going to take you a ton of time and becomes easier as you gain more experience with it. Now, the next question that I asked myself, and a lot of people are wondering, is, are there other codes that you can bill? I've mentioned this, there's just the one assisted living thing is kind of all encompassing. Are there other codes that you can bill? And at its core, not really. So because assisted living is kind of this all-encompassing, you are providing care for this resident, there's not really another code that you can bill for that. Now, what there is available is there are other codes that are out there. And so if you had kind of maybe a parallel business, let's use transportation as an example. Transportation is its own code for billing, and each resident is going to be approved for a certain amount of units per month. Now, if you have a transportation company where the van is parked at your assisted living home and you do the transportation yourself, now all of a sudden you're billing with your operational entity that does the assisted living business, that assisted living code, and you're billing for the transportation as well. So you're getting reimbursed for that also. So there are ways to kind of take advantage of the different codes that are out there for it. As an assisted living provider, there's not much you can do. Now, if you were to get in and you're providing like adult daycare, now all of a sudden you're able to bill adult daycare and you're able to bill units for that. And then if you did some activities or some educational courses or things like that while they're at the home, for that resident, for that individual who's in the adult daycare program coming to your facility, now you can bill for those things. But for an assisted living resident, you're not able to add extra things on inside of the one entity that you have, if that makes sense. So that's kind of something that you want to keep in mind, that there are other codes out there. When you get the information from the state that tells you what a resident is approved for, it's typically going to be like a 4 or 5 page document, and it lists out all of the different codes that they're approved for, how many units per month they can bill, and then you can get on the state's website to see exactly what those reimbursement rates look like for you as a Medicaid provider. Just keep in mind, as the assisted living provider, you're not able to access those without some kind of a parallel business in place. That's how I've seen it work in most states where I've researched this a little bit. Your state could have something different, but as much as you want to be like, well, I actually provide this other service, because you do assisted living, you're not able to tap into some of those other things. But there's chances. Build that parallel business, do something there, and see what you can do to create something pretty cool. So there's ways to kind of take advantage of it. As buttoned down as Medicaid is, there's opportunities there. So just want to make sure that you're aware of that. I hope you found this information helpful for you as you're kind of figuring out Medicaid and navigating that a little bit to figure out what billing is and coding is. To recap, today we talked about what coding is. I gave you an overview of that, how to do the billing for assisted living, and just kind of some of the other things you might want to be aware of as you get into Medicaid and being a Medicaid provider, and what that means for you with maybe some of those other codes that are out there, and how it could impact you and your business. If you found this information helpful, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell as well, because it's going to notify you when we go live on Tuesdays and when we put out this content on Thursdays, so you don't miss any of the videos as I'm helping you along your path to launching that assisted living business in the next 12 months. Because at Assisted Living Investing, that's what I'm here to do, help beginners like you launch that business in 12 months. I do that through things on the website. So get over there, assistedlivinginvesting.net. We've got our free underwriting calculator, which we chatted about at the top of the video. Great free resource to help you get started. We also have the business planning guide, which is all about building the base that you need to help you be successful in starting your assisted living business. So check that out, assistedlivinginvesting.net/BPG. We'll have links down below. And if you feel like you need some extra help and need some extra guidance, we have our mastermind program. And I love this program, love helping the people that are in it to reach their goals. They're people like you that are kind of on the same path, and we're all learning together and kind of growing through that. If you want more information, check us out at assistedlivinginvesting.net/mastermind. And if you'd like to learn more about the program and see if it's a good fit before joining, make sure you schedule a call with me. It's a free strategy session. I won't try to push anything on you. I just want to see if you're a good fit or not. And that's assistedlivinginvesting.net/strategy, just to make sure that we're in alignment and that I can actually help you out on your journey. So check that out there as well. Does residential assisted living sound interesting to you, but you don't know how to get started? At Assisted Living Investing, we're here to help you through the process, start to finish, to help you reach that time and financial freedom that you're looking for. And I want to remind you, it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Keep going step by step by step. I promise you that if you do and you're consistent and persistent, you're going to be successful. Thanks for watching and have a great day.